Hey guys, Diane here, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. But before we get to it, just hit that like and subscribe button and we'll get to it. That's so stupid. Okay, so what is this book about? This book is about Lizzie, and she is a monster hunter, and she has a very successful podcast. She goes around the country looking for Bigfoot and Alligator Boy and, Squirrel Girl, I don't know. And so she goes around the country looking for the monsters, and it goes from when she's an adult to another timeline to when she's like a 13-year-old girl, where her and her brother live with her grandmother. Her grandmother is like this renowned psychiatrist. She's brilliant. She's kind of into New Age medicine. This is like 1978, and she's super successful with that. So she runs her own treatment facility, and they live on the grounds in a house, a little ways away from the treatment facility. So it's very secluded. They really mainly only kind of see each other, as well as like the staff on the grounds. They don't go to school. They're pretty sheltered, and they kind of are just, that's really their only, people that they really talk to is pretty much their grandmother. And so then it goes back to when she's a monster hunter and she's going to a new location to where she's looking for a monster, but there's also a girl that has gone missing recently. And so she's kind of keeping her eye out on that and trying to figure out, do these connect somehow, or how all this coincides. So the story just goes from there. It's mainly about her and her brother when they're young, and then the storyline jumps to basically just her when she's older. I'll just leave the story kind of there, but as far as length and pacing, the pacing was probably like my favorite part of the book. The pacing moved pretty quickly. I didn't feel like it lingered too long in any spots. I think my favorite part of the book was when they're talking about her doing like the monster hunting and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the length, it was like 300 and I want to say 50 pages, something like that. I did read a physical copy. I didn't do Audible on this one. And the length was, a good length for a thriller horror book. I felt like the author gets across what she wants to say in a timely manner. Like, it's not too long. She doesn't linger too long. As far as character development, the characters were fine. I wasn't too attached to anybody. I wasn't super involved with either timeline. I was kind of just there for the ride. There were supposed to be some standout moments. There were supposed to be some twists, but to me it felt like you could guess them. I feel like there wasn't anything really surprising. There wasn't anything that threw me for a loop. I wasn't thrown off by anything that happened in the book. It was all very almost consequential, almost like, okay, well, I figured that was probably what was going to happen. I didn't really, it was just meh. I did kind of enjoy this book. I did enjoy the monster hunting mostly. I think that was probably my favorite part of the book. It was just okay, I guess. I would probably just give this a 6 out of 10 just because it was almost predictable. It wasn't anything that I hadn't seen before. There weren't any there wasn't anything new with this almost. It just felt very like repetitive almost. I feel like if you've never read a horror book, if you've never read a thriller book, I think this would be, really enjoyable. But to someone who reads as much horror and thriller books as I do, it just wasn't there for me. It was just okay. This probably isn't an author that I'm really gonna be super excited for. There is something about her writing style that's very effortless and very easy, so I could see why people would like her, but it was just okay. It wasn't anything that that I was super excited about. Even doing this review was a little tough for me just because it was so mediocre and there wasn't really much to tell, honestly. But, just let me know how you feel in the comments. Let me know if you felt the same way about this book, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, if you agree or disagree. So just hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.